All right, man. We're recording right now. So it's good to talk to you again, Dave, man. And I know that I don't think we've met in person. We might have. I was thinking maybe you were at the Flat Earth International Conference.
I was.
Um,
I think we've passed ways. We're both probably pretty busy there.
yeah, we passed ways, and like honestly, I think we had a lot of the same friends. I was friends with Rick Hummer,
Oh yeah.
um, Rob Skiba,
Yep.
and even Robbie Davidson. And I know a lot of people have you on to talk about like flat Earth and all of those different things. I'm not somebody that really needs convincing of it. I really believe it's possible, for sure that the Earth could be completely flat. Even before the flat Earth, I believed in heliocentric, or I'm sorry,
Geocentric.
geocentric ideology. Anyway, that was something that I kind of just believed and grew up with in a Christian school and such. So it wasn't that hard of a stretch for that. But we knew a lot of the same people. Actually, I was just like grabbing this because this is like the first time I've actually
Yeah, yeah. I
got it
have.
out since there. Because I
You
was
know,
kind of behind the scenes working with Robbie. But anyway, go ahead.
no, no. I was saying, I actually just saw mine laying around here somewhere. The same coin. I love that. I gave
Yeah,
most of them
man.
away to little kids, though. You know, when the other kids there, I gave all my coins away. So I think that's the only one I have left.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Like I think Robbie gave so crazy story at that conference. It was a wild conference. First off, I know if you were there,
It was.
it was really really wild. And I was kind of behind the scenes, and I helped Robbie kind of last minute. He was trying to throw something together because I think he was really stressed out about the Logan Paul thing, the interview that he did, and he wanted to kind of get something out like right away about all that stuff. But those are wild times, man. And I don't even know what to say about all this, but I really wanted to kind of get your take on the flat earth movement in general and all of what's going on right now because there's a lot of drama that I'm looking at. I'm not even really involved in all of that. I mean, we are having a flat earth meetup at our conference that we're throwing, but like I'm not really involved in all the politics behind it. But dude, what happened recently? There's been a lot of people leaving and then there's this test in Antarctica. Just like tell me all you can about that, dude. I'm so interested.
Well, there we go. We're gonna have a long conversation on that. But I was first want to say you're friends with Rob Skiba. Rest in peace, Rob. His son is putting on a conference in Texas in, I believe it's September. It's called TrutherCon,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I got an invite to that as well. I haven't decided whether or not I'm gonna go speak at it or not, but like,
I'm
yeah,
going. I'm going.
yeah,
And
yeah,
they got a great team. It looks like it's going to be an epic event. And don't go. I tell people, don't go because of me. Go because you're going to be around all of this great energy, all these great people. That's the best part about these conferences. But they look like they just moved to a bigger venue because they're at this early stage. They got lots of people coming. So I think it might be one of the biggest conferences we had.
yeah, man. It should be pretty good. I know this year we decided to have ours in Kentucky at a venue that we wanted to have our first one kind of localized where we're at. And, the venue's only so big, but our next one we're doing in Orlando. I was going to invite you to the one in Orlando, but this one we've got like 18 speakers already. And
No
I mean, the
worries.
tickets went so quick, it's all crazy, but we are going to have like a flat earth meetup there. So it'll be kind of cool to see that happen. But dude, I'm excited about more conferences. I hope more people do them because there's a lot of gatekeeping at a lot of different conferences. And, there, that kind of narrative is not allowed in those things. But
Yep.
anyways, go on, man. I want to hear more.
All right. So you're talking about what is known as TFE or the final experiment. So that's just a little neurolinguistic programming right there. The final experiment stored as okay, that's the experiment, the final experiment. If the sun does this, then that. If the sun does that, then this. So now you're focusing on a false binary with a preconceived notion that it's an experiment and it's final, right? It's all nonsense. I was the one that it was designed for. They literally set me up to go, and I just immediately using my God given senses sense that this is a deception. Will Duffy isn't who he says he is, and there's tons of evidence for that.
Dude, I've seen some crazy stuff about that guy, and I have no idea if it's true, but I've seen some like just wild stuff, so, allegedly being linked to about a bunch of lawsuits at
Oh no, that's not allegedly. You
SEC.
can go on. You can go
Oh,
on
okay.
FINRA.org, and then look up his name. And he's got there's two new ones now. He's got another $500,000 in fines, possible jail time, and this is on the government. Federal what's FINRA stands for? Finance and whatever. It's the financial reporting website, and it's him. And the trolls come like, oh, how do you know that's even him? It's another Will Duffy. Will admitted it's him. He admitted that
Yeah.
that is him. Um, it's kind of
And
funny.
in the middle of all of this, he's funding a
Well,
flat Earth experiment right in the middle of like I think depositions and
yeah,
such supposedly.
he's being charged from all the, and there's more and more coming. And his explanation, the only time he touched on the topic was, oh, it's just an ambulance chasing lawyer going after, one thing. And, this happens all the time. It's quite normal. No, it's not. I know I have lots of people in finance. Nobody has, it's very uncommon to have all the accusations. He's already paid out, I think, $500,000 in fines. Guilty. And he paid these people out. There's more coming. And during this whole thing, all he cares about is settling the flat earth debate. We've caught him lying. He says, well, I'm just new to this flat earth debate. But meanwhile, like 4 or 5 years ago, he was doing a radio show. He was the producer for Bob Enyard. I think that's his name, out of wherever they are in Denver. Did a conspiracy show all about anti-flat earth, right? And he was the producer, and he claimed that he just heard about flat earth, right? There's so much nonsense with him. And I said, nope, I'm not going. They did. They went to extraordinary lengths to get me to go. I was speaking at the Anarchapulco conference coming up months later, and they were calling every influencer, every person at Antarctica going, Dave Weiss was offered a free trip to Antarctica. You should not have him speak, or you should convince him to go. They literally were trying to do everything they can to make me go. And I said,
Wow.
don't deal with demons. It's a false binary. I'm not going. And they were like, oh, you're afraid, because of your app, your app is going to be useless, once we prove that the sun circles. And I said, I don't know what they're going to do. I said, don't ever contact me again. I don't want anything to do with your nonsense. And I told everyone else not to go. I said, don't go. But then Jaron and Austin are like, someone has to go. And, I don't care what their deal is. We're going to go. We're going to make an observation. Cool. I get it. But I don't know if you've seen Marty Leeds and I. Here's the thing. We have a theory, and there's more and more evidence backing up that they literally fake the sun and fake the sky in Antarctica. And there's lots of evidence. I don't know if it's true. There's lots of evidence. It's a good theory, right? There's other people that say they never went to Antarctica. Austin and Jaron have been in it for 10 years as undercover spies. That's a wild theory, right?
That's a wild theory. Yeah.
That's a wild theory, but it's another theory, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, both of us say TFE is a deception, but we have different theories. But for some reason, we're all fighting each other. Everyone's fighting. The infighting. You know what? Flat Earth would have gone mainstream if it wasn't for flat earthers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, flat earthers. And now here's the thing: everyone's like,
dude, just to like, butt in here. I mean, you're right, dude. I filmed all of that, towards the conference behind the scenes with a lot of different people. My buddy that worked with me, Jake, the guy that's actually throwing TrutherCon, he went behind the scenes to several of these conferences, and there's just so much footage I have. And I started editing this together, and I was like, Jake, you're going to have to take the reins, man, because I don't know how to make this, like, put a suit on this pig. Like, I just don't know how to do it. It's just there's too much here within this movement that just makes me not want to be really that close to it. And that's the worry that I have about it. That's what I was even telling Robbie. I was like, dude, like, some of the people that are here, why would you want to bring a clown show to this thing? It's already like thought of as the stupidest thing on earth. Why bring the clown show to it?
So a lot of people say, those guys were paid off. That's a theory. Okay. It makes sense if that's all of the basket that you have to pick from, right?
Mm-hmm.
If somebody flips like Jaron flipped, Austin hasn't flipped, but Austin said he saw a sun circling around, showed footage of a sun circling around, and they're like, well, that doesn't happen. Therefore, Austin is in on it. That's a theory. They got paid off. That's a theory, right? I say they faked the whole sky. That's a theory, right? But
due to like the pictures, like I saw, okay, so I two of these pictures. One, there's one guy with his shirt off, one with it on, with black on, one off, black on, one off, black on.
Yeah.
And then you have this blue and gold plane in the background, and I know what those colors, represent. And then it's just strange. You see these things that just don't make sense, and it's almost like blatant symbolism there
I
without
think that,
even knowing and
yeah,
seeing the back end of it. I'm thinking like there's symbolism here.
there is definitely symbolism there, but that doesn't mean that those guys are in on it. They might be in on it. I don't know, right? We all have our
Yeah.
theories, and if you look at that's a whole nother topic. Robbie Davidson, his picture on his website, Robbie Davidson flipped, right?
Yeah, yeah, I
He's
do.
got the
Yeah,
crown of
I
thorns
was
on there, which is an all-seeing eye. He's got the crown of thorns as his YouTube image, right? So
wow. I didn't
there,
know that. I haven't seen him in a long time. See
yeah,
him pop up on Facebook every now and then, and I'm like really kind of amazed
it's
that.
absolutely
Yeah.
amazing. But without sidetracking too much, you
Okay,
ask
okay.
Robbie Davidson why he flipped. He can't tell you. He goes, well, the circling sun, and then we can get into all the reasons why that actually doesn't prove anything. But he doesn't know. He says, well, the A map is debunked. I'm like, how? He can't explain it. Him, Patricia, and Paul all have something in common. It's another theory. They all have something in common, which could explain why they flipped. It's just another theory, right? And
Yeah.
we put that theory out there, Marty and I, and we got a legal takedown notice. And Marty took his down. I didn't take mine down because I'm just pointing out a theory. I'm not making any claims, right?
Hmm.
So, getting back over to the TFE side, I don't think anyone got paid off. That's my theory. I keep saying that. Okay, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We're trying to figure this out, and I think this is more of a spiritual war, right? Uh, Ephesians. Am I pronouncing that right? Ephesians,
It's
right?
close enough. Yep.
6:12. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of I shut it. The powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. I think this is a spiritual thing. People like Jaron, who are, I would say, very unspiritually connected, can be influenced, if that's the right word, taken over. I don't know, right? Just
Yeah.
my theory.
Well, it's hard for everybody because you think about it. You never know what went on behind the scenes. We could speculate all day,
Yep,
but you know as well as I do, they're very powerful people and they have lots of money to throw around. Their pocket change is something that could just destroy our lives, and
absolutely.
it's a reality. And so I understand that there may be some of that going on, possibly too. I mean, there's a lot of speculation, but either way, you're right. It is spiritual. All of these things are, man. It's crazy how the darkness, no matter what kind of situation or group of people you're with, it just seems to seep in
It it
to
it
those.
it does, and I think that paying someone off is the worst way because it comes with so much stuff, so many things that can go wrong, right? I think tricking somebody is better, right? If you went down there and you saw the sun circle, you might mind might be blown. But there's
Hmm.
so many things wrong with that one. If you go look up pictures from Union Glacier, it's cloudy almost in every friggin' every picture, every video, right? It's like 360 days of clouds there a year. I don't know the exact number, but it's cloudy all the time. So when Jaron said he was going, I said, you know what, Jaron, they could fake the sun. He's like, they can't fake the sun. I go, what about if the sun is behind a hazy sky? I go, they could fake that. And he agreed. And he said, well, if the sky is cloudy, we're gonna not accept that. And Will goes, if the sky's even hazy, we'll consider that a win for flat Earth.
Hmm.
They get to Santiago, they get to Chile, wherever they were. They waited a couple days until they could go to Antarctica. They go there, and the people getting on the plane said, "We haven't seen the sun in 3 months. You guys get here, and it's blue sky." And I call it 9/11 blue. It looks so blue, it looked fake,
Wow.
right? And so they get there and they have this unbelievable blue sky. And then they said the sun was so bright that you could not go outside without glasses. But we look at all the historical books from the people that went to Antarctica years ago, at those same times, I forget the names of all the explorers, but none of them, all their pictures were wearing glasses. None of them were wearing sunglasses. So why was the sun so bright? Why, there's a lot of whys, right?
Hmm.
And I think that they were in Antarctica, but I think they were fooled. And that's where all the infighting comes from. But I think spiritual forces that are literally getting under people. There's people calling me a shill because I'm defending TFE. I'm not defending TFE. I say to you, I was the first one to call it a hoax. I said it is nonsense from the first email that Will sent out. Will sent out a teaser email. There's a big experiment coming up in 30 days. You're going to be involved. And I was like, tell me what it is. I don't play these games, and I'll tell you whether it's something that it's worthy. He goes, nope, you're going to have to wait. I said, never email me again. I don't deal with demons. Right? Go away. I just got this evil feeling. And what's funny is, remember the debate with Greg Locke and Dean Odell in Tennessee?
Oh yeah.
So I went there.
Oh, you went to that?
I did. Yeah, it was great. It was. I mean, it was
Yeah.
it was an interesting thing. And so a lot of people are meeting me. I'm meeting people left and right. People are tapping me on the shoulder. It's like I'm in a whirlwind there. And after the debate, we were back at the hotel lobby where everyone's hanging out, having some food, some drinks. And this little guy comes up to me. He goes, "Hey, Dave, big fan. Can I get a picture with you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what's your name?" He's like, "Oh, my name's Will." I was like, "Do you have a channel? Do I know you?" And he goes, "No, but you will soon." And he takes his picture with me going like that.
Oh wow.
Right? Now, because of demonic influence, I believe, there's people like Flat Earth Banjo that are using that picture saying, "I'm working with Will Duffy." That's the only time I met the guy. And when he shook my hand, I tell you something, I still feel it. I felt like you're shaking hands with the devil, right? I felt it. I'm very sensitive to energetic feelings. The same thing happened when McToon shook my hand, right?
I've never met him. I've heard of him, but
isn't it funny that McToon and Duffy were both there and now they're working together on TFE, but they didn't know each other back then?
Strange,
right?
Man.
It's a bunch of nonsense.
And he's the one that took the picture that's getting flashed around as if you know him. So I mean, it's an obvious thing.
Yeah.
And that dude, it's crazy because we see pictures of people with people all the time, and people don't realize how easy it is for somebody that knows you. Hey, I've seen you on YouTube. Can I get a picture with you? You don't know who you're taking a picture
No
with.
idea.
That dude could be a crazy Epstein Island person or something.
I've
You have no
never
idea.
spoken to him other than that 30-second encounter. Never, ever. But people like Banjo are using that as proof that I'm a Freemason, that I'm working with Duffy, I'm behind TFE, I'm best friends with Jaron. Jaron came back and started making hit videos on me because TFE was specifically designed to get rid of this app because this app is waking up too many people, John. It's waking up too many people. It is educating people that have the app, and then they're using it to educate other people. It's breaking the YouTube algorithm.
You got like millions of people on that app.
Not millions yet, hundreds of thousands. And literally that's because of all the suppression, all the people like, it's a tracking app. It leaks your data. Check this out. McToon and crew spent a lot of money, a lot of time, and they did hack into our servers last October, and they got everything, including your app password. Okay.
Whoa.
But the app password is unique to the app. It says put in a unique password and then any information you put in the app is non-verified. And the only information you put in there is the information that you want to share with all the other users. There's no place to put in a bank account or Social Security or anything. The only information you put in there is the information that you want to share with other people. So still, we fixed that, spent a lot of money, security. There's no way to hack into it now. And but what really happened? I mean, Bank of America got, and Wells Fargo and Facebook and everything gotten hacked, and personal data, credit cards, social security numbers. The only information that got hacked was like me going to your Facebook page and going, look, I got your name, I got some pictures of you, I got the stuff that you're sharing with other people. So it's fixed. It's not leaking, but look at the big picture. What did it leak?
What links do you think that whoever's behind this, spiritual power behind this, will go to silence what's going on with this? Because it is obviously, if people start losing faith in the globe or the space industry, it's a multi-billion, if not trillion-dollar industry, and includes all kinds of other tech now, including Musk and X and all that. Like, what? I mean, in your experience, you're more experienced in the flat Earth movement probably than anybody. You go on more interviews, people interview more, you do more debates than anybody in the flat Earth movement right now. What have you experienced that makes you wonder how far they're willing to go?
Well,
other than this stuff right here.
Yeah, I think they're going to all the lengths possible. But here's the thing. If I didn't understand that there is a creator, and if you do the right things, the creator has your back, I think I would be in deep crap right now.
Yeah.
The only explanation I have for me being able to do what I do is the creator's got my back. They have to abide by rules,
Mhm.
natural law rules, and the only way they can get to you is through fear, false evidence appearing real, FEAR, right? And so I don't live in fear. I do the best I can. I'm here to help other people. The greatest joy in my life is to help other people. My birthday is tomorrow, and my wish for my birthday is I have a neighbor who's very, very sick with a very, 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 very sick, and I have a way to help her, but she's very blue pilled, and I have to find a way to get her to accept my help, and that would be the greatest gift for my birthday. So that's what I live for.
Yeah.
Um, so
Are you married, Dave?
I've been with my partner Paige for like 18 or 19 years.
So pretty much.
Yeah, we're married. I call her my
Yeah.
wife. Yeah, yeah. We
Yeah.
just don't need the government to tell us our relationship status.
Right, for sure. And yeah, that's awesome, man. I didn't, obviously I don't know much about you personally as a human being, but I think me and you were on a broadcast together with Nino, what, a few months ago? Was that how long ago was that? He's like, hey,
That was a while ago.
yeah, he was like, hey, dude, he's like, I got this guy. He's like, you got to come on with me. I don't know what to say. I'm like, I don't know what to say either. I don't know what you want to interview about, but I went on.
That's where we hooked up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where we hooked up, and I didn't know what to say, but you were very well prepared. I saw your presentation. You have it down to a science as to all of the evidences that people could see
When
every time I've seen you present.
when the truth is on your side, there's no amount of deception that can overwhelm it. I mean, yeah, they can obfuscate it, they can tire people's minds out, but when you have the truth, it's just abundant. It just keeps on coming and keeps on coming. And the more they try, the more they literally push people over towards the flat Earth side. Now, what is the flat Earth? I say, you know, what your comment at the beginning is, you're pretty sure it's flat or geocentric. This is what I think it is. This is a very, very unique model. We live in this double toroid, right? All the luminaries are circling around on these magnetic waves. There's a firmament there and probably another firmament below, and we live on this dielectric plane right here. So let's say that this plane is 1% of the whole system. That's all I'm explaining. The rest is spiritual, non-physical. I can theorize. We can try to figure it out, but we're just talking about this 1% plane of physicality where we live on, which is
Mhm.
magical. It's literally, people like they use the word simulation. I wish I could find a better word because I don't want to use the word simulation, but I think we're in a physical reality simulation.
Has anybody ever tried to replicate that magnetic, I guess what we're seeing there? Has anybody tried to replicate that in any way just to see
Yeah,
what happens?
there's tons of toroidal field magnetic stuff, and it explains a lot of things. It explains the motion of the luminaries. It explains a lot. Um,
Just tell me, like, this is what I would want to know. Like, if I've never heard about it before. And of course, like I said, like biblically, I feel like there's a lot of evidence leaning toward the idea that the earth is flat. I think there's a lot of evidence there. I know some people would argue about, well, that's your interpretation of what it says and stuff. But coming at you from, let's say, a worldly perspective, forget the Bible for a minute, forget ancient texts, forget all that. What is the best evidence for a layman to show to someone to get them to at least open up in your experience
um, uh, get them to open up to flat Earth.
to just to thinking to in general to break that cognitive dissonance that they might have, that an honest person willing to seek information, what is that best, if you only got one shot, you got one piece of evidence
So
that
it's
you want to give?
right. It's different for every person. You really got to size the person up. But the thing that got me, and the number one thing, is that we can see too far. Right. So here's a shot. This is from 8 feet off the ground. We got these um, what are they? Oil platforms, and I forget the exact miles, like 8 miles and 12 miles or whatever it is. The curvature formula is that the horizon should be in front of this platform. But not only can we see the water to this platform and to this platform, we can see the water beyond that platform.
Is
So
this at Gulf Shores there? Is that where
I
you're
think
taking
I
these?
think that's where it is.
Yeah. I
So
always thought about that too. I'm like, these things are way out there and I'm seeing them like no
yeah, and
problem.
people, well, the Earth is so big, but you don't understand their math. We're using their math, right? So here's a simpler thing. So large bodies of water at rest need to be contained. When they're at rest and they get cold, they freeze and they freeze flat. You ever been on a lake skating?
Oh yeah.
It's flat, right? You're not going
Yeah.
over a hump. It's not curving as you go. So here is a lake frozen. This guy's got his camera 6 inches off lake. There's a full video documenting that we're not up on top of anything, where the ice is. And he put these 4 lights out here at 8 miles, 7 miles, 6 miles, and 5 miles. Now, at that distance, even adding in stupid, ridiculous refraction, and we're going to talk about refraction in a second, this should be including a ridiculous amount of refraction, 30 feet below the curve, 22, 15, and 9 feet below the curve. But somehow they're refracting up and stopping all at the same level, which is absolutely absurd if you can wrap your mind around what that actually means. So you have two choices. The camera's on the ice and it's looking at these 4 lights on the flat ice. Pretty simple. Or the camera is 6 inches, which means that the horizon is less than a mile away. And on this tangent of the Earth, this one's popping up to here. This one's refracting higher. This one's refracting higher and refracting higher. They don't refract below that line. They don't refract above that line. They all stop to trick you to think that the Earth is flat, right? Mm. Here's the problem, John. You've been thinking that was easy. I explained that pretty well, I think, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So somebody that's never thought about this, they have a hard time comprehending what I just said. We were never taught to think like this in school. We were taught to memorize and regurgitate. You want the A? Memorize what's in the book, write it down on the paper, you get the A. They're literally in training you, indoctrinating you, and you think that the A means you're smart. No, the A means that you're a good memorizer. Mm-hmm. So that's my number one thing. And there's so many different things with curvature. There's the LoRa transmission was done from a boat and it went 800 miles to another buoy. 800 miles. Now, the frequency that this was transmitted at its line of sight would go right through the ionosphere, right? I think you have to be below 40 megahertz or whatever. This was like 300 megahertz, whatever it was. It could not bounce. Its line of sight at 10 miles away, it wouldn't work on a curved Earth. 10 miles away, there'd be 60 feet of curvature, which would be higher than the tower. But it went 800 miles, which is like 85 miles of curvature. If you and I were outside and you ducked behind a hill, could I see you?
Absolutely not.
If it got foggy or cold or hot, would you pop up over the hill?
I mean, I doubt you would see me still at that point. I don't know.
Absolutely, you wouldn't. But the thing is, things do get warped. When you look over distance, things get warped, they get faded, they get compressed. Mm-hmm. Things get compressed down, not up. That makes it worse for the globe, right? But if something is behind something, you can't see it. It doesn't get warped. It doesn't refract. It doesn't do anything because when it's behind something, you can't see it because it's behind it. It's behind it. So this sun here, up here, maybe it can get pushed down to here or pushed up to here or flattened a little bit, right? But if it's here, it's not going to refract up. Go, oh, look, I'm really behind the hill. It's not going to refract up because there's no light getting to you. It's behind it.
Yeah.
So that basically every single thing absolutely 100% proves that the Earth is flat. But people are so, their whole life is built around this globe. They're built around this globe, and they just can't let it go. Boats over the horizon was the one that really got me. And this is where is it? Where's my sailboat? So there's no boat out here. There's no boat out here. As we're zooming in, we're making the optics bigger. And as we get bigger, all of a sudden you go, oh, look, there's a boat. Now we zoom over the curve, it's there. Now my finger can't really hide much of the boat. But as the boat gets smaller, my finger could hide the whole boat.
Right.
Right. So people don't understand how our eyes work. I've done tons of videos on this. On my app, the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app, if you just go to the frequently asked questions page, which is the question mark button, and you go to the ships over the horizon, which is right here, or we see too far, where does the sun go? Tons of videos, all of them being hidden from you by Google. Why is Google hiding that stuff?
Dude, I know why they're hiding it personally. I think I know why. I think because it has to be too far out of our reach to understand if they're going to keep power and keep all the money pumping to do those things. We can't know certain things.
Correct.
I mean, even though we do know them, we can't really know them because we're not allowed to go up into space. They put people like Katy Perry up there, but somebody like me or you, they're not going to shoot us up. And if they do, who knows if we'll make it back? That might be the one that just got blown up all of a sudden. But the detestable things, it seems like things that we can actually test as human beings and not as the elite, they get to fly up into rockets, seem to all point to flat Earth. I mean, they really do, and I've looked at those things, and they're so impressive, the information, and I really can't wrap my mind around how people couldn't even make fun of flat earthers. I can see how they could still be skeptical, be like, listen, I get it, but when they see this information, it I don't understand how people are so rude and hateful, but I've seen a lot of that from the other people. But I also see a lot of like craziness, like it's almost like it jumps over into the flat earth movement, and then there's shills on that side that create it and make it like almost unbearable to want to even talk about it. Because dude, every time I talk about it on my channel, I'll have flat earthers coming at me like crazy. And I'm like, I'm talking about it, I'm putting it out there, but like they're gonna attack, and then you'll have people from the other side. It's just a never ending
Here,
battle on that front.
here's the thing. Flat earthers are really passionate. When you find out that they're lying about the globe, you become passionate. Sometimes they're rationally passionate about it. And if
Yeah.
somebody says something that isn't in your belief system, even though they're a flat earther, they literally attack. Again, it's a whole spiritual thing that's going on, and you really have to ground yourself, because when maybe I'm so level headed because I walk around barefoot almost all the time. Right, and I'm serious. That's a real thing. And when I go by a tree, I always touch the tree. I touch the tree. If no one's looking, I'll give it a big hug. Okay, but you literally grounding yourself to a tree is absolutely amazing. I want to talk about Katy Perry for a second, but you asked me about the lengths that they'll go. Remember the moon landing hoax? Right, of course you do.
Mhm.
The moon landing. Think how much effort that was. You have thousands, tens of thousands of people involved, television cameras, everyone in the world is watching, people in person. You got to launch something into the sky, whether it's small, whether it's helium filled, couldn't tell you, right? There's no people on it. I can guarantee you that. And you got to fool the whole world. You got to fool reporters. They're not all in on it. You got to fool everything. So that's a massive operation. Then you have to get everyone involved. So NASA ordered from parts for the Apollo mission from 200,000 different companies. 200,000. I think it was 200,000, or maybe it's 20,000, whatever. It's still a ridiculous number. And that way everyone can say, well, my uncle was involved. You calling him a liar? He made the hinge for the door, right? And send it to
I've
NASA.
heard that stuff before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a big operation. And what was the purpose of the moon landing? One line. What was the purpose of the moon landing? To convince people they lived on a ball, to hide God, right? To convince people they lived on a ball. That's it, right?
Do you
And
think they might just actually be trying to get out too? Like they're trying to get out of this
I think that
system?
they are, but that has nothing to do with the moon landing hoax. The moon landing hoax is to make you think you can live and walk on a ball,
Oh, I
right?
totally agree with that. Yeah, yeah.
So
Moon landing hoax. That's hard for me to believe that people believed any of that footage. You
I
see
did.
the crafts that the
Yeah,
crafts that they used, and you
yeah.
see how poorly they're built. Of course, I'm looking at it from a kid that grew up in the 80s and 90s, and so for me, it's like there's no way I could ever looked at that. Even when I was a kid, when I looked at it, I was like, that there's no way.
Come
Like
on,
that looks like a homeless tent.
come on. You don't. If somebody sheetrocked your basement like that, would you pay them?
That looks like Sacramento streets with people that built stuff onto the side of
I
them.
don't think a homeless person in Sacramento would be going there. Like, nah, that's garbage. I'm not going in there. Right? We have to believe, there's curtain rods and tinfoil, and look at that rickety ladder. Look at this little rickety ladder. Right?
Yeah, dude.
I mean, and then people just believe it. It's incredible. Look, this is the new one. This is the 2025 lunar module. Right? Is that like a flat screen TV? What is that? Okay.
It
And
looks
look at
like
it.
my son's computer, actually.
It's got stickers all over it. It's so stupid. Look at a solar panel. Like, what kind of solar panel is that? It's a piece of garbage solar panel, right? So once you see, all right. So getting to my point is the moon landing deception is falling apart. So what are they going to try to replace it with? They tried to replace it with, oh, the circling sun in Antarctica, which most people don't even understand. So it's not working. It's backfiring. And they did a David Blaine Copperfield magic trick, not magic, technology trick. They got the whistleblower from Lockheed Grumman saying there's directed energy technology in Antarctica that is beyond human imagination. Okay. And I think that the real controllers of our world, maybe the fallen angels, that they're living beyond the shorelines of Antarctica to areas that we don't have access to. And the fact that the blue sky showed up for Duffy goes, oh, God delivered me a blue sky, right? He's spending $100,000 or more or whatever on the trip. And he's just hoping that God's going to make the sky blue. And by the way, Duffy had a debate at his church with McToon, and he brought Joe Hill on the flat earth side. And when Joe went to check out of the hotel, Duffy went to pay for his hotel. His credit card bounced. Does that sound like a multimillionaire? His credit card bounced. He had to call his wife, who had to come down and shuffle through a whole bunch of credit cards until they found one that worked. Wow. Right? People need to really pay attention. You talked about Katy Perry. They sent Katy Perry to space. They didn't send her anywhere. Here's my theory. Tons of evidence. Nobody's ever on a rocket except Mad Mike, who tried to jump across a canyon, not 1,800 feet, for the world record, not to prove the Earth was flat, and killed himself.
Yeah, Mad Mike, man, I met him at the Flat Earth Conference, yep. and me and Rick actually spent time on the phone with this guy trying to convince him not to do it again,
And he killed himself. But then every news company in the world ran that story. Flat Earther kills himself trying to prove flat Earth. He was only trying to jump 1,800 feet. Just go in a friggin' in a building. Go higher than 1,800 feet, right? Go on top of a mountain, right? So, and then they all ran with it, and people are like, oh, you guys killed yourselves with rockets. I mean, people are not thinking. Kobe Cotton, big YouTuber, he went up before Katy Perry, and they're like, look at the curve of the Earth. Look at the curve of the Earth before he even got a couple hundred feet up. All right,
those GoPro fisheye lens.
But here's the thing. That's kind of another false binary. That means he's on the rocket. He's not on that rocket. The rocket is I don't even think anything launches because there's nobody there. And there's tons of proof that rocket is just pure CGI. And then William Shatner went up, right? William Shatner was broke. He probably got his $3 or $4 million to fake it.
Who's that guy in the background that looks like O'Bannon?
I don't know who it is. Somebody else that was on there.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Katy Perry thing, she went up, and look, they're all floating. Now watch how many edit, right? And they're in different configurations. How did they get into that configuration from the one edit? There she is. Now you're up there. What are you just looking at the camera? Look at her looking at the camera. Wouldn't you be looking out the window? Right?
Oh, definitely.
And so there's edit. So I think they're just on look, there's the moon. You couldn't see the moon when they were up there. The moon wasn't in a position where you'd be able to see it. And they're looking out the window. They're upside down. Right? John, let's say they took us up on a C-130 airplane, and then we're in the back in the cargo area, and they say, all right, go into this van. They put us in a big van. It's got nice seats in there too. And they push it out the back of the window. But push it out the back. They go, you got 30 seconds to play around, and then you got to get in your seats. Okay. Could we do it?
Oh, we could do it.
We
should do it. We should do like a fake video to prove that we can do that. We'll make that happen anyway.
John,
is that what
you're
asking?
I would both crap our pants. I'm sorry. There's no way. And there's no way we'd be able to get into our seats. Right?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And they're all moving around. This thing is just free falling. There's so many I could do.
You think there's wires there? What do you think?
No, I think they're on a zero-G plane with a fake half studio, and they're doing zero-G plane, how that works, right?
Yeah.
And so they're.
Well, actually, you know what? Explain it because I think what I'm thinking is it goes really fast and it drops really, really like quickly, and you're kind of just hovering in the air. Is that right? Or is it dropping at a certain angle? How does that work?
So the airplane gains speed, and then it starts climbing, and then it starts arcing. And right about near the pinnacle of that arc, the G forces, the parabolic forces are neutral. And so
Okay.
it goes for about 45 seconds where you don't have any gravity. The plane's literally just free falling now. And then they all they all slammed to the ground. So they did this in a whole bunch of takes. Now they were excited. They're doing cheers because it's really fun to go on a zero G plane. It's really
Right.
fun. Right.
Yeah.
And they edited it all together and everyone just believes it. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
It looks like a music video. It's hilarious to me that this
Yeah.
is that I what can you say, man? People are easily influenced and easily misled. I know that's probably why you do what you do. That's why I do what I do. I have compassion for people, and I hate that people use their weaknesses against mankind because it's really easy. Being a man is an easy weakness to use, but things like this, entertainment, Hollywood
Yeah.
has done such a great job of putting the wool, man.
Check this out. This is a motorcycle guy jumping off, and watch when his motorcycle parachute comes out, it just shreds because the motorcycle was too heavy and it was going too fast.
Yeah.
Right? You understand? So
Yeah.
once again, so the guy he lets go, his parachute comes up, no problem. The motorcycle parachute just shreds because
Shreds
it's
right
going,
away.
yeah, it's going maybe 100 miles an hour, right? So remember the rescue from the ISS, the people that were allegedly stuck up there?
Yeah.
This thing's free falling at thousands of miles per hour,
How much
faster
does
than
that
that,
thing weigh?
a ton, right? And so it's free falling. And first they have these little parachutes that come out.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, those will be
After
shredded
seeing that,
in a
after seeing
second.
that other video, that's like,
Yeah, so those will be shredded. Now watch this. We're gonna just go through this. I'll jump forward a little bit. So then the bigger parachutes come out. Let's see. Jump forward. All right. Okay. So look. So there's the little ones, and look at these cables. Oh no, sorry. Those are the big ones. Now look at these parachutes. How come they're not filling up yet? I mean, how fast is that thing actually going? Is that
for
going
real.
really fast? Now these are pretty thick cables, right? These are like straps. They're thick straps.
Looks
They're
like
not
it's in the water to me, man, is what it
well
looks like to me.
worse. Worse. I'm going to prove to you that this is all AI. I'm going to prove it to you. Right. So,
Okay.
so as it's coming down, I'm jumping forward. If you watch the live stream, all of a sudden it just kind of sat there for like a minute or two. It just friggin' barely moving. Like I thought this thing was coming down. Right? And then, these are the people in there. Now look, 4 grown people. Okay. Sitting in there, coming down. And now there's a drone filming this. The boats that are coming are way off in the distance over here. So someone was smart enough to get a drone there and hover it just perfectly. So this thing's coming down. Let's just jump forward, save some time. Right? Look how slow it's coming down. Is it
Right.
going sideways? Right? Look at these perfectly spread out parachutes. Now these are made of very thin nylon. They're very thin nylon. And I'm going to show you a couple things that's going to blow. All right, here we go. So now splashdown. Now you can carefully see the straps a little bit. You can see them pretty much. See the straps? And it comes down and the straps disappear. Now look at this beautiful silky parachutes falling in the water. Look how calm the water is, right? It's
Well,
over.
the water, I just noticed too, the water's going that way, then back this
Yeah.
way, and
Now
then it's like the changing really.
Look at the guy that's coming speeding on the boat is just doing a parabolic, beautiful. See now you can see the rope right there. That one that has a line. It showed up for a second. Now, where are the straps? Where is the opening on the top that the parachutes came from?
Yeah.
Right. So now look, the boats here come the boats right there. Right. Where are the straps? Where did the parachutes come out of? It's completely sealed up here. That's a big problem. So the boats get here and the drone's doing its panoramic shot. No opening for the parachutes. No straps leaning over into the water. No straps floating on the water. Just jump forward a little bit. The boats will come in. And where are the boats? Come on, boats. Here they come. They're not worried about getting their props stuck in the straps or anything. No opening.
What happened to the other boat? Did it disappear?
Yeah.
The boat in the back? What the heck?
Yeah. So, and then this doesn't have it in this,
Okay,
but
there
then
it
all of a sudden they showed dolphins. The dolphins came to greet them. That's for the kids
is.
to bring the kids in. The dolphins were
Yeah,
jumping around in there.
dolphins.
Remember the show Flipper? Remember Flipper?
Oh man, yes, Flipper.
I saw them making
Flipper, or
Flipper
no, I'm
once.
thinking of a different.
Flipper's
Yeah,
in a pool. He's not even in a lake. And they just literally splice them together when the boat's following Flipper. They're just showing This is like basic AI, CGI, whatever you want to call it. But again, where did the parachutes come from? Where are the ropes? All fake.
Dude.
All
I
fake.
bet NASA's producers hate your guts, man.
You know what? Maybe there's
They
some
they
good people
they
at
got to.
NASA.
They got to. Either that or they're making it fake on purpose. I don't know.
Here's the thing. I'm going to do what I'm going to do forever. I'm going to do it until I can't do it anymore. Right. I think that the only way that they can stop us is if we literally succumb. Is that the word? To their succumb. I can't. Is that the right word?
Yeah, succumb. Yeah, you
Succumb.
got it.
All right. It sounds to their fear. Right. I think that we live in this amazing place. I think that we have God given free will, and I'm going to keep waking up people because people want to be woken up. Well, some people want to be woken up. Some people are not meant to be woken up.
Man, that's absolutely true, dude. When I look at that footage, it reminds me of GTA 5. I remember I played that game for a little short period of time. Um, my friend had a YouTube channel, GTA YouTube channel, and we used to play and do stuff like that. And that's what it looks like to me. It doesn't, and I don't know if you zoomed in if it would look any more real, but it looks so fake. It's unreal to me. And people do fall for these things all the time. I mean, we've got actors that are just amazing actors in Hollywood, and people for some reason or another they look to those people for any kind of information that they're trying to justify that's going on in the world. I don't get that because we've already seen all that industry kind of exposed. The NASA industry, there's a lot of ties to them and Disney. Am I right? I mean, is that a possibility? I've heard that stated before. What is the evidence of that?
Well, NASA and Disney literally are the same company, in my opinion. There's Werner von Braun, the Nazi scientist that was brought over to run NASA, was working close with Disney. A quick message that I'd like to share with all of you. Our lives are filled with toxins in our air, food, and even in the information we're taught. Avoiding them all is impossible, but helping your body detox doesn't have to be complicated. That's where Masterpiece comes in. Just 5 drops under your tongue twice a day, and that's it. Super easy, super simple, and it doesn't even taste bad. I've tried countless supplements, and while generally I'm pretty healthy, I didn't really feel much of an effect. But with Masterpiece, it delivered noticeable benefits. Check out the podcast I did with Terry from Masterpiece, linked below this video, or you can find links directly to Masterpiece on my website, flatearthdave.com, or in the shopping section on the app. The key to health is to detoxify. Now back to the show. These are the people that were the foundation of NASA. Ronald Hubbard, the Scientology guy, Walt Disney, cartoons, right? Werner von Braun, ex-Nazi, Jack Parsons, an occultist, and Aleister Crowley, probably one of the most evil men in the world. These were the foundation of NASA. NASA was based off of their work.
Wasn't Parsons and Hubbard, they were like roommates for a while, if I remember correctly, and they were in the same a part of some rituals that were going on. I remember reading about how I guess Ron Hubbard, I think it was Jack that stole his girlfriend or vice versa. I can't remember, but they were actual roommates before I think Parson his the JPL, is it that he founded JPL,
Yeah.
the Jet Propulsion Laboratories, or Jack? Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy,
so,
crazy.
When you look at NASA, they'll say anything. They'll say anything. Check this out. Ready? This is what happens in the universe every second. Okay. Sun loses 4 million tons of mass.
Wow.
For billions of years, but still can hold on to Pluto and
amazing.
Ignore our moon. And there's no issues, no 3-body problem with the 80 friggin' bodies, right? Andromeda is getting closer to us by 110 kilometers a second. Okay. 60,000 new stars are born. What? 120 new black holes are formed. No one's ever seen a black hole. They're just theories, right? 120 new black holes every second. Well, a black hole is what they said it is. We're all just going into a black hole and back to a singularity, right? Think about the new stars. They tell us that these nebulas. They showed us the Crab Nebula. Remember the Crab Nebula they showed us in school?
Oh yeah.
And it's made of dust and gas. Well, dust and gas in space.
And they know all about this because
Dust and gas is. This is the one they showed you. This one always creeped me out. It looked like the creature feature hand, But they say this is where stars are born. So in here, dust and gas, instead of the gas violently filling the available space, it'll collapse into a star. They tell us our sun is a star and it's 860,000 miles across, but it's a small one. So there's stars forming in here. And then they stop collecting dust and gas because hey, I'm big enough. I'm ready to be born. And then it pops it out like a ping pong ball machine. And then somehow it just parks itself somewhere in the galaxy. Why doesn't the whole thing just collapse into one giant star?
Yeah.
Right? People don't think this stuff through. Well, a guy in a lab coat and a pocket protector, he told me so, and it's in the book. And my teacher told me that my teacher's not lying. How do you become a teacher, a professor, a scientist? You memorize and regurgitate the Rockefeller nonsense that they feed you.
Yep. Man, how does this all fit into the alien narrative and the UFO narrative? I had an opportunity to speak with one of the gentlemen who works at Skinwalker Ranch, and he's on the broadcast, Thomas Winterton, and he told me, he's like, dude, it's definitely spiritual, but he's like, there's also a real physical sense to these things, and I don't know where he stands at on what we're talking about here, but where does all this fit into the flat Earth?
Yeah, so I wish those guys would talk to me because they're right. They're spiritually connecting and having things flash at them in the sky, right? They're doing all sorts of stuff, but they think it's coming from outer space above us, not outer space over there, right? So,
I think a lot of them are convinced, from what I understood from talking to them, that it's not so much even that it's almost like a dimensional thing, like it's there, then it's not. And
I agree with that. I'm
yeah,
with you. I'm with you. But
we would have swapped between the veils, I guess you could say.
yeah, but think about this. What if the world was set up like this? What if we live on this flat Earth? We live here, right? America, South America. And out here are more land, extra territory, extra terra, extraterrestrials from where? The outer space, just thousands of miles away, right? They tell us that the closest star to our sun is 4.5 light years, which is about 25 trillion miles, right? People have no concept of what 25 trillion miles is. If we were traveling at a mile per second, which is faster than anyone's ever gone, for 1 trillion seconds, we've gone 1 trillion miles, right? We got to do that 24 more times to get to the closest star. Do you know how long 1 trillion seconds is, John?
Dude, I really don't know. It sounds like a lot of time, though.
Want to take a guess? If you guess
I'm
it,
gonna okay. Let me
guess
guess.
it within
Let's see.
3 days, I'll give you a Bitcoin.
Ooh, whoa, man!
All right, I'll give you a week. If you guess it within a week,
Within a week, I get a Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Oh man! So
real
let
quick,
me just
real quick. No,
okay. 5,000 years.
31,000 years.
Okay, I was way off.
Well,
that was my chance to get a Bitcoin right there.
31,000 years.
Dang.
So now we've been traveling for 31,000 years at a mile per second. We got to do that 24 more times before we get to the closest star and find out that there's no life there. We got to go to the next one, which is multiple times farther, right? But if Elon is a good guy, he gives us a rocket ship that can go 100,000 miles an hour. Good news. It's only going to take us 28,000 years to get to the closest star, right? Good news. We don't have to do 31,000 years times 25, right?
What about Elon's Mars trip? How far is that? Because I mean, this is like huge in his mind.
It's all
theater.
It's all nonsense. But so let's talk about Skinwalker Ranch.
Okay.
If those guys can understand, we live in a spiritual realm, flatter globe, spiritual realm is spiritual realm. But you want to talk about entities coming from extra terra, that only works on a flat Earth. Space is a scientific impossibility, right? You can't have high pressure next to no pressure without a container, right? These distances are just unfathomable. Well, that's why we fold space-time and we do a wormhole, and that's how we get across the universe. You got to make up crazy shit like that to explain extraterrestrial space. Have you seen my research on Kiribati?
I have not. No.
Antarctica. Let me show.
Enlighten me.
this is worth the time. Hold on, what is going on here?
Worth the price of admission, folks.
Worth the price of admission. And again, I always like to say you don't need to speculate what's beyond as far south as they allow us to go, which is really 60 degrees south without supervision, to prove the shape of the earth. We can prove it right here in our own backyard. But this is a ship tracking program, and you can see ships and you can click on them, get all the information, what the cargo ship, where it's going, who the captain is, country. And we noticed a ship here inside of Antarctica that was 730 miles from the closest point. How does an active ship get that far into Antarctica, right? Mm. And we found another one zooming out, 900 miles in. And when we click on it, it said it's registered to the nation of Kiribati. Registered to the nation of Kiribati. It's pronounced, people yell at me, it's spelled Kiribati, but it's pronounced Kiribati. All right.
Okay.
I just do that for the people that freak out.
Okay. Well, also for the people that want to find it, I would
hold on.
Pronouncing it in the way. Yeah.
Yeah. This is funny. This is where I'm going. So, if we look at the ships that were, that doesn't matter. Hold on. Ships. Where's all right. Well, we'll just go here. So on Google Earth, I type in Kiribati and it zooms into the middle of the South Pacific. And I had to put a pin on it because it's such a small, little, tiny sandbar. And America, China, Vietnam, they've given this place tens of billions of dollars. They say it's a very important trade route. Kiribati. Okay. So Kiribati, right? And people only live over here. This is all not unpopulated. So why is that?
Can anybody just go there?
No, it's very difficult to go there. You can, but it's very difficult, right? You can. I don't want to say it's very difficult. It's just way out of the way, super expensive. Yeah. It's going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars to get there. And then what are you going to do? Right. So, but people do go there. Right. And a funny thing is on Kiribati, there is a little hotel or bed and breakfast, whatever, called the Captain Cook Hotel. Interesting. They got a ship in the middle of Antarctica where it can't be. And then there's Captain Cook Hotel. Maybe it's just somebody who's obsessed with Captain Cook. It's all right. Captain Cook tried to circumnavigate Antarctica 10,000 miles, but ended up going 68,000 miles and never finished his going all the way around. Hey, that explains flat Earth.
What a coincidence, man.
What a coincidence. If you look at all the ships. Oh, and when we clicked on that ship, it said it was 85 meters long, 80 meters wide. No, 850 meters long and 80 meters wide. That's gigantic. How does a gigantic ship get in the middle there? It's a giant cargo ship. And when we look at all the ships that are going to Kiribati, that are all out there waiting to go onto their giant pier, they all say destination unknown or Christmas Island. Now, some people say that Kiribati is also called Christmas Island. Okay. But if you know the whole thing with Christmas, Satan, Santa, right? Weird, just weird. I'm not going to say it proves anything. I'm just going to say it's super, super weird. Another reason not to go to Kiribati is they did all sorts of nuke testing, right? And they did nuke testing. They had crazy testimony about what happened there. Look at this article about the nuke testing. Look at these people. They don't care a bomb is going off over here. They're just walking. Would you be walking? This guy's going that way. This guy's going that way. This guy's looking over. This is just a fire or something. Maybe it's a volcano. Who knows? But it's not.
They probably were test subjects of this stuff.
Well, those people, I think that's just, and then they use this as an article, but this picture's been used in every nuclear article ever. It's the same image, right? Yeah. So whenever I see nuclear bombs, you know about the nuclear bomb hoax, right?
I've heard every time I mention that, or anybody that comes on my show mentions it, I'll notice in the comment section and be like, that's all, that's a conspiracy. It's not real. So I don't know why they say that. So let's
on my website, flatearthdave.com, scroll down, you'll see a nuclear bomb banner. It's just a big nuclear explosion. Click it. There's a bunch of podcasts by Crow 777 Radio. They did the research for you. Listen to it. Make up your own mind.
Okay.
If you listen to it, you'll be like, holy crap, nuclear bombs. What do nuclear bombs do? They put fear in every cell in your body. If you turn on the news, which you never should do, it gives you cancer. And they mentioned, Putin's going to start a nuclear war. if you believe in nuclear bombs, every cell in your body is now under stress,
Mm-hmm.
right? Subconsciously, you're like, okay, I hope that doesn't happen, but every cell in your body is now under stress and it's at dis-ease. That's how you get disease. And so it's just throwing out that that's interesting.
That's interesting. And
Yeah.
that seems like that's the name of the game. Many times when anything's coming around that's dangerous, they just want to
Yep.
pump it out there so much, man. It's crazy the way that works. But yeah, I never really heard about the hoax. How is it a hoax? And
Well,
like, what about the Alamo
Hiroshima
testing?
and
And
Nagasaki,
yeah,
like
yeah. What about all that?
when you start looking at the stuff, it's all models and nonsense, and the cameras don't move. Like you start questioning, like where was that camera? How come it didn't move? Where that's the house that blew up and the trees that bent over. You look at that, and you look at it again now with new eyes. You'll see it's just a clay model or a little stick model. It's all nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. 3 days later, the sandwich shops were open, the trains were running, people were back to work. 3 days later, okay, in both places, video of troops setting up skids and skids and skids and skids of dynamite at ground zero at both locations. Why would they do that? Does dynamite attract nuclear bombs? Right? Getting over here, time zones. If we live on a ball with a North Pole and a South Pole, you got lines of longitude, 24 of them, that create all the time zones like sections in an orange, right? And as the world spins, wherever the sun is, it's noon in that time zone. So you got all these time zones, except this one jagged, weird dateline time zone, which makes no sense on a globe. Why is it jagging going across 3.5 time zones? And what's right here? I'll call that the weirdest spot. Kiribati. Okay, weird, just weird.
Very
right?
weird.
So, so what is going on? So here's my speculation. This is a map that was found in a Buddhist temple, 10 centuries old, published in 1907 in a Hawaiian newspaper, showing all of these outer lands. Weird, right? Showing these outer lands, right? Extra terra in the outer space. We're not allowed to explore beyond this line right here. No independent exploration beyond this line. No
I've
one's
seen the
allowed to go there.
videos of the boats where the people will try and they'll get stopped
Yep.
going past that.
Yep. And so imagine this is a piece of paper this big, right? That's this big. And I got a basketball and I put this, maybe even smaller. I wrap it around and I have to crunch up all of this to the bottom. All of that extra land is now here. And we'll just call that Antarctica. It doesn't exist. We call it Fantasy Island. And you're not allowed to explore there. Weird, right? So what if the world is shaped like this? Here's Kiribati, and the ship was just going out here to the outer lands. Google map that, it's going to put it right in the middle of Antarctica. Maybe they're out here trading weapons, technology, children, tuna fish. I don't know. Maybe all four. Right. There was a whistleblower, a guy that worked for one of the big chip companies. And he said that they were in the lab and they were always trying to make the chips better, but they only made tiny, tiny, tiny improvements. Right. Like, oh, yeah, we can move this. We can do that. We make tiny, tiny improvements. Then the industry says, we need a chip 4 times faster. And they're all like, what are we going to do now? Right. And then the CEO comes in and goes, here, use this chip. And then they reverse engineer a chip that's now 4 times faster. Where did that chip come from? Come from the Nephilim in the outer space? I don't know.
Outer spaces of the earth, maybe.
The outer space out here.
Yeah.
If somebody lived here and you're in the military and you say, okay, you got to go to Africa, you got to abduct somebody, you got to anally probe them, do all the things that the aliens supposedly do. He could leave after breakfast in the morning, do it, and then get home in time for dinner with the kids.
Yeah.
Right? Rather than traveling 25 billion light years or 25 billion miles, which is impossible. Right? So flat Earth makes sense. Again, this is all speculation, but the evidence is lining up and up. Oh, this is the funny thing. So we made a bunch of videos on this. It started going kind of viral, and all of a sudden, when you type in Kiribati on Google Earth, it takes you to this island. That's not Kiribati, but it says Kiribati. Look where it is. It's halfway across the world.
Wow.
Here's
They're trying to hide it.
Kiribati, and when you zoom in on it, check it out. It says Kirimati.
It's going to change after this broadcast. They're going to be like, oh, he's on to us again.
Yeah.
Dang
And
it, Dave.
No news, no nothing. Can't find any explanation. It changed from Kiribati to Kirimati.
Wow.
And I have the old one and the new one. Kiribati.
Wow. Crazy, bro.
Yeah.
If you weren't a conspiracy theorist before, you definitely are now if you watch this entire broadcast. And Dave, tell people where they can look at your content. I see it's flatearthdave.com right there. How do they get the app?
Yeah, all my social media is on flatearthdave.com. Follow me on X. Follow me on YouTube. I have multiple channels on YouTube. I just got my 100,000 plaque finally on one of my channels.
Nice.
I was gonna make a funny video of me setting it on fire, but I decided not to.
Dude, I've thought about it. I still got mine back here, and I'm like, man, I'd love to just kind of like do something crazy to it because
I was going to do it. Check this out. This is great. I'll just tell you this quick story. Then we'll talk about where you can get my stuff. I was going to do an unboxing, have my wife film me, unbox it. And while I'm unboxing it, I was going to be doing shots of tequila, just, like 50 shots, right? Just keep doing it. I'm going to get it. I'll be like grumpy. I'm going to throw it on the ground. I turn around backwards and I have like a water bottle and I make it like I'm peeing on it, but it's really gasoline. And then I light it on fire from all the tequila that I drank. That was
that would be good. That would. I don't know about actually drinking the tequila. I would pretend maybe. I would. Okay. I was just saying it might turn into a whole nother video if you actually
tequila, and then I have so much tequila in me that it got set fire to. So I thought it was funny. Silly.
There you go, man.
All right, so
yeah, that's awesome. Congrats on that, by the way. It's hard, especially being in a very, very shadow banned topic. I mean, they really try to keep it down, I feel like.
Well, they're hiding all the videos, and I've broken the algorithm somewhat because I go on so many different podcasts. If you actually search Flat Earth Dave, I come up first. And it's like they're going to fix that right after this podcast, probably.
Let's hope not.
But on the app is the frequently asked questions page, which I showed you before. All of the videos in here, there's hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of videos on those specific topics. On the friend finder, people's like, it's really tough being a flat earther. I've lost all my friends. Well, here's where I am. And here let it load. Here are all the people around me. I can click on somebody. I can get their profile. I can send them a message. I could send out a radius. I could say, all right, 50 kilometers. There's 430 people. I could send them all a message going, hey, I'm having a meetup at Joe's Bar and Grill Saturday at 4:00. We did that. We had 80 people show up. Amazing.
Wow. Well, I need to use that for the meet and greet. I think one of the guys, I think his name's Zach, is going to be doing one of those. I'm going to be like, hey, dude, if you don't have that app, you should do it.
Here's another thing you should do is if you click the meetup maker, it'll say, all right, search by meetups within 500 miles. All right. There's 4 meetups right now within 500 miles. And I could scroll, get the information and find meetups. The most important thing is if you have the app, go down here and say, alert me of local meetups, say 100 miles, 500 miles, or 1,000 miles. That's the radius. Send me an email, send me a push notification. And anytime someone sets up a meetup, you'll literally get an email going, hey, here's a link to a meetup. And it's super helpful in getting people. And if you click the heart icon, right, we flip that around. This is the matchmaker, right? I put in your birth
nice.
year.
You got flat earth dating going on. Nice.
Well, here's the thing. If you meet a girl, you have to like, okay, is she a flat earther? That, yay. If she's not, you're like, all right, now I gotta. It's difficult. You got to figure out.
Is it mostly dudes on there? Be honest.
No, wait, check it out.
There's flat earth girls out there.
Hold on. I got myself at 0 age because I don't want to show up in anyone's thing because I'm married. Okay. And I have age range. I said within 150 miles. Search, and I say I'm interested in females. Here we go, Christine. That's right in my town. Right here's another one. Right, and that Here's another one. There's 24 people, and you could start messaging with them. You not only can you message, you can do video calls. You can do group video calls on here.
Wow, that's an impressive app, man.
Right. It does so much. Very important. When you get the app, I recommend people hit the more resources button. Whoops. Let me go back here. Sorry about that. Which is the spiderweb button. By the way, if you long press any button, it teaches you what it does. Right. So that's a lot of people like, what does this button do? Just long press it. Go here. And if you go to the Flat Earth Dave, those are my interviews. Your interview will show here when you post it. But this is the instructions. I did a run through of all of the features on the app. Watch that. They'll teach you everything, so you don't, or you can just figure it out over time. There's a book section, right? Kids books. More. I love the more land section. Amazing, right? We got shopping. Oh, Truth or Con. I hope you go, John. You got to go.
I am in Indiana, like southern Indiana, so it's kind of far for me.
Right?
What's that?
You're near Rick Hummer.
Yeah, I'm actually south of him quite a bit. He's up closer to the lakes, and I'm closer down to the Kentucky side of things, so not too far away. But yeah, man.
Right after TrutherCon, a couple weeks later in Arizona, I'm going to be speaking at the internationaltruthexpo.com.
I saw that on there too. That's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
man, we might have to get you to SpearcyCon, even though I've already got like 18 speakers. It would be crazy to add. Like, I'm gonna have to like talk to the guys, and they'll be like, "Oh, already got 18," because I keep on adding people. Dude, it's crazy. But it'd be cool to see you a few times this year, man. I'd really enjoy your content, and so
appreciate it. I have this is the homeschool section, which is just a different category of stuff. And this is featured art people. These are mostly TikTokers. And I tell people, I don't have TikTok. Here's what I tell you to do. TikTok is less censored than YouTube. Get a TikTok, create an account, then go here and click every one of these and just subscribe. Just subscribe to all these channels, and then just go on TikTok. You will have a feed of amazing content. Absolutely amazing content. This is the biblical section. K-Pod, she's unbelievable. She's so good that I have her in two different sections. I have her featured and I have her here. This is the old world section. This is the new entry. Close that out. My lunch break. Do you watch him?
I've never heard of him.
Write that down. If you have the app,
okay.
My lunch break is on every platform.
I'm going to download the app after this broadcast.
Old world stuff. It's amazing. And video search, you can search anything. And all of the videos that have been featured on the app, they'll all just come up here without any nonsense. Remember the movie, a TV show from the 60s called Newsbenders, where the guy goes in for a job and they're going to fake the wars and fake the moon landing. So you just type in Bender, done, search, and up comes Newsbenders. There it is. Right. Wow. So it's the easiest way to find videos. There's trivia game's awesome. Play with 1 to 4 people. And it's good for flat earthers and globe earthers, because the globe earthers don't know any of the answers. And then there's different playlists in different languages, which we're working on adding.
So if I pull my phone up right now and I said I want to find this app, what do I type in my app store?
The best thing to go is flatearthdave.com. But if you have an iPhone, just type in Flat Earth. It's the #1 hit. But there's also a troll one that on Google Play, same name. It's Globers. It just gives you Glober information. I just tell people, go to flatearthdave.com, click the banner. Can't miss it. That way you know you got the right one. It's by Blue Water Bay. If you go straight to the App Store or Google Play Store, just look for type in Blue Water Bay. It'll come right up. And then the last thing is I wanted to show you was the image search. So if you wanted to find like sun under cloud, somebody. Oh no, here we'll go southern flight routes. I'll just type in southern. Boom. There are all the southern flight routes. Right. This is my favorite one. New Zealand to Argentina. It goes all the way up to San Francisco, then to Houston, and all the way back down. That's insane. Why doesn't it just go across here? FlightAware will even say this is the shortest route, but the flights actually go all the way up, all the way over. Look at it on a flat Earth. New Zealand, San Francisco, Houston, Texas, Argentina. What did your mother always tell you?
Straight line.
Shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, right?
Yeah.
So all of this stuff is at your fingertips. Oh, wait. And one other thing, which I just added not too long ago, is the flashcards, right? I was inspired, but Glover's inspired me to make a lot of my videos when they say there's no proof of flat Earth. Well, click the flashcards, and up come there's over 225 flat Earth proofs, right?
Cool.
And if this shows up, you can click that. It'll bring you to a video about the card, right? So I'm adding more and more stuff all the time. And then you could share. I want to share that card with somebody. Bam. I could airdrop it. Like if you go to a concert, just start airdropping these cards to every person in near you. And you can also search. You want to search for one, you can just search by name, and it'll come right up. Archaeoastrology, astroarchaeology is a great one when you're looking at. Great video on it right here. Boom. So there's tons and tons and tons and tons of content on here. FlatEarthDave.com. Yeah. Full disclosure. The app is $3, one-time charge, right?
Wow.
But if you want to use the profiles, if you want to use the dating, if you want to send outgoing messages, you can receive messages. If you want to create meetups, you can receive meetups. And if you want to use the flashcards, all of those require a one-time subscription of $11 per year, right? And if you don't want to pay the $11 per subscription, if you go into the friend finder and click the middle button here, this is the referral section, and you'll have a random number here. Just click it. For you, let's say make yours John P, Jonp, all right?
Okay.
So after you download the app, John P, anyone that downloads the app, the first thing it's going to ask you is, do you have a referral code? Write in John P, no spaces.
There you go.
Jonp.
You guys hear that? Jonp, right?
Jonp. And then you get a point. And if you get 11 points, you can trade them in for a year subscription. And there's going to be other things that you can buy with the points. And then also, if you're into crypto or not, you have a MetaMask or an internet money wallet, create one, put the wallet address in here, a unique wallet address. Don't even tie your other crypto to it if you're worried, right? And every point you get right now, you get 1 million Dome coins. What's that worth? A few dollars, right? So it's fun. If you're not a cryptocurrency user, it'll just teach you how to play with crypto. Play with it, lose it. Doesn't matter. It didn't cost you anything.
No doubt, man. That's awesome. And I appreciate it, Dave. Thank you so much for joining me today, man. It was really good to talk to you and just be able to kind of shoot the crap, man, because like there's just a lot of crazy stuff going on over there. And it's good to see that there's people out there still trying to pump it, man, and do their best.
Well, here the thing is, the truth is the truth, and truth resonates deep down inside of all of us. And if you ignore all the nonsense goes away. Just focus on the good, right? I still promote people like Flat Earth Banjo with his good stuff, right? He's stuck in something happened to him. It's all right. It's his journey. I'm not going to penalize him for it. You know, he thinks that I'm anti-Christian. That is the opposite of the truth. Opposite, right? This world we live in is an amazing, amazing place. And when you see the truth of our world, it brings you closer to creation and it makes you more powerful. So all is well.
Absolutely, man. So thank you guys. Hit the like button if you like this broadcast. Let us know what you guys want to see more of. If you want to see more of Flat Earth Dave, tell us in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't. And thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you.
Hey, everyone. If you enjoyed this interview, please help support my work and help wake up others by referring or gifting the app to at least one person today. By doing that, you're going to help wake people up and help me to continue doing other interviews like this. With the censorship out there that's going on, it's very difficult to find relevant information. And the app, as you know, brings people to the truthful information of our world. So help support my work, help support your efforts in waking up friends, family, and strangers. Gift them the app or just recommend the app. And let's make 2025 the year Flat Earth breaks free. Check the links below for information on how to gift the app or just refer the app to others and use your referral code to earn Dome cryptocurrency and a free subscription. Thanks.